Got your thing on? Got that on?
Just on this phone. That's not my phone. So let me read it. I can watch the comments. Okay. Hello, guys. I always want to say that on YouTube. Oh man, you gotta get you a armrest or something.
Take that away.
Hey, girl. I can't see the comments on this thing. What's up? How was your birthday? Mm. Don't show off now. Y'all party. Y'all party. So I was gonna do my nails on live, but somebody got to get their nails. Somebody want their nails done. So
You guys, she wants to do my nails.
actually, I could have did my own nails because my own hand looked bad. So I don't know what she talking about. And she like white, so we gonna do a little white little design. But if y'all have any questions, hey girl, if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. I am reading the comments as well. And I am going to be explaining exactly what I do as I go down. I'm gonna be explaining what I do as I work, y'all. So I'm just gonna introduce myself because I don't know if y'all know me. If y'all do, I am Takoya Matoka. I'm a licensed master cosmetologist, but I specialize in acrylic freestyle because majority of my clients just book freestyles. And then I'm also the owner of Beautifully Blessed Beauty Bar, where we offer acrylic nail services, of course. We do tooth gems, we do tooth whiteness, and then I also sell high quality nail products. So let's get into the video. So the first thing that I have to do, of course, I am using my Starlet nail drill. So if y'all need a high quality nail drill, you can definitely order one of these. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of her old acrylic, and I'm using this tornado bit. And I'm gonna use this thing on kind of high, y'all. I like to use mine on like 26, 27, 28. I'm just gonna remove all of the old products. Dang, I ain't got no long nails to hold. So whenever you're doing this, you just want to make sure. I gotta turn this on. Hey, girl. So whenever you're doing this, you just want to make sure that you're applying some pressure. You don't want to apply too much pressure, and that's only because I'm using this drill on a 28. So because I'm using it on a 28, that speed is high. So if I apply too much pressure, it's going to burn her. So you want to apply some pressure, but not too much pressure to the point where it's going to burn them. And then these nails I did, y'all, I did not prime her nails. When I did her nails the first time, no primer, no priming was done. But she did lose a nail, but our acrylics, our monomer, you do not have to use primer if you are prepping your nails correctly. So I'm just going to remove all of this. Now you can either remove or you can just do a soak off, but because her nails are short, you're basically gonna go back with another white anyway, y'all. She like white nails. I'm just gonna file it down. Just also remember that if you are doing this to your client, that you are charging accordingly because this is basically like a whole new set. So if your client is asking for um, this, then you just want to make sure that you are charging them accordingly and not charging them for the basic fill in price, because this is not what it is. This is not a fill in. This is a rebalance because I'm taking off the old products. And you see some blue underneath there because she had another set. Which way is better, side to side? How do you mean? when you're doing the e-file? That's what you asking? How you mean which way is better, side to side? When you're using, I think you're asking me when you're using an e-file. When you're using an e-file, you should always go in one direction. You should always hit the side walls first. You want to always hit your cuticles, and then you want to always hit your side walls again, and then you want to always make sure you're going from left to right or right to left. It should always be in one direction, if that's what you're asking me. But because I'm removing, it don't really matter. You can do it however. But you kind of want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it makes sense, because you don't want the nail to be all wonky, if that makes sense. So I'm going like this, and then after I go like this, I still go back to go left to right, right to left, because I want to make sure that the nail is still proportionate. Yeah, I'm right-handed, so you want to make sure, if you're left-handed, then you want to make sure that your drill is in reverse. And if you're right-handed, you want to make sure that your drill is in fast forward. And then when you're using your e-file, you just want to make sure that you're using it in one direction. Now, she do have a little bit of lifting, so you just want to make sure that you are removing it, because if you don't remove all of the lifting, if you don't remove all of the lifting when you apply the new products, all it's going to do is still lift, y'all. So you have to make sure that you are removing all of the lifting. Yeah. And then you just want to get in the habit of just using your e-file, like I say, in one direction. You know, you see some people going like this. Like, I don't believe that you should be scribbling on the nail. I believe that everything has to be in order. Everything that you do, we're doing it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people just be scribbling on the nail, I be looking like, now why is y'all doing that? You want to always make sure that you're going in one direction. You want your nail to be nice and proportionate. Even though you're removing, you still want it to be nice and proportionate as well. And then you always want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you're lifting up. Now, I know it may look like I'm supposed to hit the pause button. So I have a pause button on my drill, y'all. So I know it looks like I'm going like this constantly, but what I'm doing is I'm lifting up after each time I use my e-file. And when you do that, that's going to prevent you from causing any type of burning sensation or anything. So anytime you use your e-file, you want to make sure that you're lifting up, and that's what I'm doing. I know it may look like I'm moving super, super fast, which I kind of am, but I am also, I'm lifting up every time I use this e-file. Because if you ever got burned with the e-file, you know, this thing ain't no joke. So I already did what? This is the second set that I did with this. So the next time I do her nails, I'm going to soak her off, and then she's going to have to start fresh. The worst feeling, right? And I try not to do that to my clients. You know, sometimes it may happen, but for the most part, I try not to burn them. So you always want to start off, if you're right-handed, I recommend that you start off on the right side. If you're left-handed, I recommend that you start off on the right side. And you always want to start off at one side wall, and then you work your way to the other side wall. And then you want to work down the nail. As you can see, I'm lifting up after every time I use this e-file. I'm lifting up. It's not constantly on the nail. That's why I can use it on 28 and not have any kind of burning sensation. I also make sure that I'm holding her nail with support. Because if you don't have support, if you're just filing, like if you're just filing, then the e-file can slip and go around the nail, and that actually hurts as well too, y'all. So you want to always make sure that you have support of your client's nail.
She's trying to bite me. She's annoying.
You always want to make sure that you wear gloves. I don't have any gloves right now. I got to order some more. But you want to always make sure that you wear gloves, and you want to always make sure that you wear a mask too, because all of this dust and stuff, you really don't want to be inhaling it. No, it's not wrong at all. Until you can learn how to work over other people's work, you don't have to. Like when I first started off, I was like, okay, I'll work over other people's work. But then I realized that it was just too much and I wasn't really sure on what I was doing. So then I stopped and I was like, I'm not working over nobody's work. Right now, I only work over people work if the foundation is good, because if the work ain't good, it's like you'll be doing too much work and ain't nobody got time for that. So you're not wrong for telling them you don't want to work over other people's work. Now once you learn how to remove the acrylic, once you learn how to master using the e-file, then I would definitely recommend that you work over other people's work, because you don't want to lose money. But in the beginning process, you don't have to work over nobody else's work, girl. And then I also use two dusters. I use one for the client's nails and I use one for the table. I know y'all saw that video that I shared, and that man had used the same duster for the client's nails that he used for his table, and that is not that is not clean, y'all. Yeah, the nail beds be over 5, because 9 times out of 10 they probably keep getting fillings over fillings over fillings over fillings over fillings. I allow you to get 2 sets. After the second set, then you got to get a filling, because I want to make sure that you ain't got no fungus. Your natural your natural nails are still healthy and all of that. Like I would rather soak you off and make sure that your nails are good before, because I'm all about healthy nails over here, y'all. So, I mean, once you get better, then you can make whatever rules you want to make. But for me, it's only 2 nail sets, and then after that, you got to get a soak off. Some people will just fill you in. But I don't work like that. Yeah, and sometimes, they don't be knowing that they got fungus and stuff underneath the nail. And then I always make sure that I provide my clients with tea tree oil. I have a special made tea tree oil that I provide them with. So if a client comes to me and their nails are not intact, I'll be like, I can't do your nails. Here's some tea tree oil. Go home, use this, and then come back to me in like a week. You can also refuse services as well too, y'all. Just because a client comes to you do not mean that you have to take them. They'll respect you more if you refuse them and then educate them on how to fix their nails versus just taking their money and then all their nails all fucked up. It do make them thick over time. It definitely do. But if you file down completely like how I'm doing now, it really won't be thick. You just have to make sure that you're filing down good enough. See how I file that down? I file that down to the clear layer, and that's really, really, really thin. So if you file it down like this and then apply a new design on top, it really won't be thick. Then we get the clients that try to bully us. Oh no, girl, don't let them bully you. Do not let them bully you. I ain't about to allow no client to bully me, because at the end of the day, if I do something that's wrong, y'all gonna come back and y'all gonna complain, or y'all either gonna run to social media and y'all gonna complain, or y'all gonna either try to sue me because y'all try to bully me into doing something that I had no reason to do in the first beginning. So don't let your clients bully you, because if something go wrong, they're gonna blame you. So do not allow your clients to bully you. educate them, and it's okay to educate your clients. You just have to, if your client have been coming to you for a while, it's definitely okay to educate your clients. Even if you get a new client, it's also okay to educate them as well. You just got to be tricky with that because sometimes people just be trying to come sit in your chair to get a free class. So you just want to educate them and tell them, what's going on with their situation. You don't have to like go into full detail about, you know, certain stuff. But you definitely want to always make sure you educate your clients. You also want to ask questions, especially if it's a new client. Ask them questions. Ask them, where they been getting their nails done at before. Why they left their old nail technician, and then whatever reasons that they give y'all, y'all use those for y'all business. You know what I'm saying? If they tell you that the reason why they left their old nail technician is because she was unprofessional, she was gossiping, she was late, then you want to make sure that you're not doing those things. That way that client won't leave you either, because clients will leave your ass in a heartbeat. They really will not care. They will leave you and go to the next person and then get somebody else to do it. Oh yeah, they will leave your ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I set the light for it.
You see how I file like this? So I file like this, and then I file like this, and then I file like this. And that's just to prevent, any inconsistencies, to make sure that the nail is still proportionate, and to make sure that I'm just not burning her by just filing in one spot, just, over and over and over again. So that's why I jump from one side to the next side to whatever side. That's just the way that I work. And then you also want to make sure that you know what part of the bit to use. If you use the middle part and then the ending part of the bit when you're trying to remove, that's really going to help you remove most of the products too. So whenever you're working, you have to pay attention, like, to what you're doing, why you're doing, how to use your bits, what your bits are, the parts of the bits that's used for, the parts of the brush that's used for, and all of that. Doing nails is just not all about picking up acrylic and doing nails. It's actually methods to why we're doing what we're doing. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to that also. It's more to just doing nails and just laying acrylic. If a client comes to you and they got a fungus, or if they got some type of issues, you can, like I said, you can refuse them, and then you can tell them that they got to go to the doctor. You cannot diagnose them. You cannot tell them what's going on because you're not a doctor. The only thing that you can do is just refer them to a doctor and refuse their services. You want to make sure that your drill is parallel to the nail. I don't like the fact that this thing ain't got no stand, bro. You just want to always make sure that your bit is just parallel. Yeah, you want to always make sure that you're applying pressure to the nail. When you're removing, you do want to apply some pressure to the nail. Like I was saying earlier, you don't want to apply too much pressure. And for me, I don't want to apply too much pressure because my drill is on a 27. But you definitely want to make sure that you're applying pressure, because if not, this is me not applying pressure. It'll be taking me forever to remove the products. So you definitely want to make sure that you're applying some pressure. You want to make sure that you're rotating so that you're not causing any type of damage to the natural nail. Now, when you're not removing, you don't have to really apply any pressure. You just want to allow the e-file to do its job. But when you're removing, you definitely want to make sure that you're applying pressure. You see how I'm pulling the skin back? So I'm pulling her skin back and I'm going around the side walls. I'm going around the cuticle because there's a little bit of lifting up here. So you have to make sure that you are removing that. That burns? My bad. See, that burned her a little bit. And sometimes, y'all, when y'all burn y'all clients, they ain't gonna tell y'all. Y'all gotta be able to know when they jump. Y'all gotta be able to just feel it. Because I felt her jump. She didn't say anything, but I just felt her, like, just jump. And then when I look up at her, she was like, girl, what you doing? You gotta be able to pay attention to signs. Because 9 times out of 10, y'all, when y'all clients sitting in y'all chair, especially if they're a new client, clients don't really like being confrontational. They don't like voicing their opinions. So you gotta be able to like talk to them. You know, ask them questions. Girl, this hurt. Girl, this. All right, let me know now. Because especially if it's a new client, if you causing any kind of damage, they just ain't gonna come back. And I know that because I just had a client that was a new client, and I asked her. I was like, you know, I was asking her questions. I was like, girl, you know, where you was getting your nails done at before? And she was telling me, and she was like, the girl did her nails and she didn't like her nails, and she didn't tell the girl she didn't like her nails. She just never went back. And I'm like, you know, that's not good. You know, you gotta like tell them that you don't like it, because you know sometimes we as nail technicians, we just be feeling like we just the shit, and in reality people not really liking our services, but they not really voicing their opinion. So I be asking my clients, I don't care if you just come to me one day or if you been coming to me, I'm gonna ask you questions because I want to know. Because you know, when sometimes, like, this is say you get a new client and you do their nails and you be like, oh, okay, they gonna come back, and then they don't come back. You want to know why, you know? Like, tell me now. Oh, you got all kind of hair stuck in there, child. You know, tell me that you don't like the nails while you in the chair. Let me be able to fix it. But I'm telling y'all, they not gonna. Some clients are afraid to tell y'all. You got some clients that's very vocal that will tell you, but then for the most part, some clients is like, cause they so scared from because they've been going to the shops for so long, and they just so scared to like voice their opinion. But I try to have that open door policy with my clients where they can speak how they feel. You know, tell me. If you ain't coming back, let me know. See, all of this is all of this is like lifting, y'all. So you just gotta make sure you're removing it. It can take up to like 15 to 30 minutes. It just depends on how thick the nails are, how fast I'm using the drill on, how fast I'm working,
Yeah.
and all of that. So it can take, sometimes it can take 15 minutes, sometimes it can take 20 minutes, sometimes it can take 30 minutes. If you're using your drill anything less on an,
Yeah.
if you're not using your drill as high as I'm using it on a 27, you're not applying no pressure. It's gonna take you some time. So our drill do have a pause button, so I'm just gonna hit the pause button. It's pause. How do you know what number to set your drill on? You just have to know. That's why you should be, I mean, you just have to know. Like, if you're doing cuticle work, then you should know that you don't want your drill to be too high. I mean, that comes with practice. The more you practice, the more you'll know how high your drill needs to be, how high your drill don't need to be. When you're doing your drill on your cuticle work, you don't want to have your drill no higher than a 10. When you're removing, you can have your drill high. When you're debulking, you can have your drill high. It's just that when you're doing cuticle work, you don't want to have your drill too high. But that just comes with practice, you know. Everybody is different. See, for me, I know how high I can have my drill on because I practice on myself. So whatever I do on myself, I know that I can do on my clients. All right, so the next bit that I'm using is this cuticle cylinder comb bit. And I am just going to do my cuticle work with this. I don't push back any cuticles. So now that I'm doing the natural nail and I'm going around her cuticles, I don't want to use my drill on the 27. I want to go back down, and I'm going to use my drill on like a 6. Your hand shake too much probably because you don't have support. You got to make sure you got support. If you don't have no support of your drill, it's going to shake. Your hand's going to shake. Your hand's going to be all over the place. See, I'm just using this to go around the cuticles. Her cuticles ain't too bad. And that's because I take care of her nails. So I'm just using this to do my cuticle work. See, I'm always starting off at one side wall. I always go around the cuticles. And then I always finish off on the other side wall. You want to get in the habit of making sure that you do the same thing each time you do nails. Doing nails ain't nothing but a repetition. The more you do it, the faster you're going to get. Whenever you're doing nails, you have to like literally pay attention to what you're doing. You have to pay attention to how you're holding your brush. You have to pay attention to how you're holding your e-file. You have to pay attention to how the e-file is on the nail. Like this, like I tell y'all, there's a lot that you have to do. How long y'all been doing nails on this live? That could not be me. Yeah, no. 1 year. So you've been doing nails for a year. What do you consider yourself to be, a beginner, advanced, or you consider yourself to be a beginner nail technician, an immediate nail technician, or advanced? What do y'all consider yourself? Y'all consider yourself to be a beginner nail technician, an immediate nail technician, or an advanced nail technician? So now that I did that, you've been doing nails on yourself. Is that immediate? You're not advanced, you're not a beginner, so you're immediate nail, you're in the middle. Beginner only because I'm not on myself anymore. What do you mean beginner only because I'm not on myself no more? Not advanced. So now I'm just going in with the sanding band, and I'm just removing the oils and the shine from off the natural nails. And as you can see, I'm still going in one direction. Everything that I do is the same. So when I remove the products, I'm doing the same thing. When I'm using my drill on the natural nails, I'm doing the same thing. Everything is all the same. So you want to make sure as a nail technician, you're doing the same thing as well because that kind of help you with your speed. Because when you don't have like the same techniques down pat, it's like you be all over the place. You be like, all right, what I gotta do next? What I gotta do next? But if you just have, have systems and have steps in your head already, then it's gonna make the time go by because you're gonna be like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that.
Tell me something.
And then you want to always make sure that you're listening to your drill also, y'all, because your drill is going to speak to you. Whenever you're using your drill, if you just listen to your drill, it's going to let you know if you have any inconsistencies. It's going to let you know, the sound is going to let you know that something is not right. So just listen to your drill because it's going to talk to you. All right. So now that I did all that, you've been doing your own nails for years and you just started getting comfortable doing others. My dumb drill overheated or something has stopped. Oh, dang. Well, girl, we got drills. We got the drill that I'm using, which is our Starlet drill. And then we also have another inexpensive drill on our website, too, that you can use, that you can purchase. So we got two different kind of drills that's available on our website. So the tips that I'm using is some short square that's available on our website as well. And I'm only using these because I don't want to use my long. So I have to cut it down. So I'm gonna just use these. And use some tweezers. Girl, these should be fine. Hard to pick up. You also want to be able to eyeball the nail. You got to be able to look at a nail and be able to say, okay, that's a size 5. That's a size. I don't really know these nail tips. See, I went all the way up to a damn, to a 0. Why did I go to a 0? Child. And then instead of having their hands like this, you want to always make sure that their nails are straight when you're applying the tips because tips should not be crooked. Tips should be straight. It should be following the nail structure. So quiet. You've been doing nails for 4 months? Well, you a beginner. Why did you start doing nails? So this nail is a little bit short, so now I mean I gotta go and extend it. Shit. Nope, not today. Not today. I'm not extending anything. The devil is a liar. So I'm just going to use these other tips that I have because I'm not extending nothing. I don't feel like doing all that. See how I knew the size and I was able to just pick up a tip? Girl, I only use a tweezer for them little baby. I only use a tweezer for them little baby tips because, especially when I got nails on, like using these little baby tips is like kind of hard to pick up, girl. These things is little. Look how little these things is. Look how little these tips is. That thing hard to pick up and hard to put it on a nail. So, girl, I gotta use tweezers for them, child.
You can get your birthday.
Sure do.
Oh.
I'm gonna make this a little longer just to make sure that it's the same length. And then you wanna make sure that when you're cutting the length that you wanna make sure that it's cuticle to cuticle, like this, and then you wanna cut. If you cut it too long, then you just wanna make sure that you cut a little bit at a time. Little bit by a little bit. Just a little bit. You want to always make sure that you're measuring with cuticle to cuticle. Now I'm just going to go in to just shape it. And you want to make sure that you're shaping from your side wall to your free edge. This is your side wall. This is your free edge. You want to make sure that you're shaping it. And when you're shaping it, you want to make sure that your file is straight up against the nail. Not underneath the nail, but straight up against. I like to pull the skin back. That way I'm not filing on the skin and all of that. See how I pull that back? You want to make sure that you're really getting in there to file. You want to make sure that everything is nice and straight before you apply that acrylic. You currently don't have your nails done, you feel like they be getting in your way. All you gotta do is just do a short set. But you want to always make sure that your nails done, especially if you call yourself a nail technician, you know. Well, you've been doing nails for 3 years. But you want to always make sure that your nails done, because when you be out in the streets, girl, that's how people will know that you're a nail technician. And then if your nails is bomb, girl, you know how many people gonna be like, girl, who did your nails? And then all you gotta say is, I did. I'm a nail technician. Here's my business card. Always make sure you have business cards. I know people, social media nowadays, talk about you don't have business cards. Get the little chip. Yeah, you can have the little chip, but what you could do, make sure you get a chip on every nail set that you do. You want to always make sure that you have business cards. That way you can pass them out to people. You want to always make sure that your nails are done. Even if, even if your right hand ain't done, girl, keep that left hand done. That way you can advertise. You're your own walking billboard. You want to make sure that your nails are always done at all times. All right, so now that's a part of my prep. So now all I have to do is just go in with some primer with the acrylic. And like I said, I'm gonna be using bone, because you want white, right? Because all she do, y'all, is wear white nails. Like, she is so basic. So I'm gonna be using some white, and this is called bone. And it's not white like how it was. It's like a softer white, because I am going to do like 2 designs
My little nail. Compared to your nail.
on her nails. All right, so the monomer I'm using is my monomer, of course. This is our low order. This is our SM low order EMA monomer that comes in an 8 ounce. You can purchase it on my website or you can purchase it on Amazon. And it is
Okay.
very, very low order. I'm not going to put too much in there because that's probably too much in there. Shit, that's probably too much. So you only want a little bit, and because she's just getting a basic white set, I am going to drop some drops of acetone inside of the monomer because this nail set isn't going to take that long. But you want to be careful with that because if you put too much acetone in that monomer, y'all, that thing going to dry up super, super fast. Super, super fast. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my nail prep dehydrator, and this is to cleanse the nails, dehydrate the nails, and remove all oils and shines from the nails. So I'm just going to spray it, and then when you spray it, you just want to, just spray it. And then you want to use a manicure. That's your shit. That's your hair. Look at that.
That's your hair.
How is that mine? Then you want to use my daughter got pink hair all over y'all. Then you want to use a manicure brush and you want to just brush down away
That's
from the
your hair.
cuticles. And as you can see, that just cleanse the nail, dehydrate it, and remove all of the oils. And then it also smells like strawberries.
I gotta wait till March.
So when your client comes in, you want to make sure that your client is using a manicure brush when they wash their hands. And then you want to also make sure that you're using a manicure brush during their service. And then the same manicure brush that you use during the service, you want to have them use it to go wash their hands after the service. The clear that I'm using is our glossy clear. And then this is my nail prep primer. My nail prep primer. That's not even no thing, y'all. This is my nail primer. And the primer that I like to use is No Lift Primer. You can get that from Sally's. I'm just going to prime the cuticle area, the natural nail, really. And I just prime once, y'all. This primer is an acid-based primer, so if you put it on the skin, especially if they have any cuts or anything, y'all, it's going to burn. This brush I'm using is our size 12 Kolinsky brush that we do have available on our website. And then all I like to do is just go in with a small thin layer of clear and then just apply it. This is still a part of my prep. Oh, that shit was not all the way white. Damn, I put that damn thing in there. It has some white to it. And this is how I prep, and this is how I prep, and my clients' nails last however long. They take care of them. When you're picking up beads, let me show you how to pick up a bead. Teddy must be on something. So when you're picking up a bead, so the rule of thumb is when you're picking up a bead, when you're picking up a large bead, you want to burp your brush and you want to tap one time. Then you want to tap 2 times for a medium bead, and then you want to tap 3 times to get all of the liquid out. I don't really do that because I've been doing nails for so long and I know how to control my powder. So anytime I get a bead, I just tap, I wipe off. And then when you get a bead, if you want to get a small bead, you basically just want to use the tip of your brush, y'all. You basically just want to use the tip of your brush to get a smaller bead. And to get a larger bead, then you want to use the belly of your brush and you want to push down by using the belly of your brush, and that's going to give you a good sized bead. And this is not all the way clear. This has some white in it. So that's how I prep. I do this to all 5 nails, and then I go in with the other 5 nails, and then I do that as well. And I don't have to worry about telling my clients, girl, don't be on your phone, girl, don't touch that. My clients can eat and do whatever they want to do because I've already applied the primer. Because once you apply the primer and they start touching stuff, the primer is no longer good. It's contaminated, so now you got to go back in and add more primer. So I do this so that they can do whatever they want to do. And then I also do this as well because I only use color acrylic. So to prevent their natural nail from staining, I will apply this clear to their natural nail before I apply the color acrylic so that their natural nails won't stain. And then you want to always make sure that your brush is touching your napkin. You want to always make sure that your brush is flat. So you want to pick up a bead and you want to hold it there, 1, 2, 3. You want to lift up. Then you want to use the tip of your brush to push this bead into your cuticle. And then you basically just want to brush this down by using the belly of your brush. Making sure you clean up your side walls by using the tip of your brush. And this definitely has some. And that's how I prime, y'all. That's all a part of the prime. The prep. Not the prime. The prep. That's all a part of the prep. Now I want to go in with my color. And again, I'm using Bone, which is it's not a milky white. It's like a soft white that has a little bit of a tint of purple and blue into it. All right. So I'm going to do this one ball method. So I want to burp my brush. I want to tap off. Then I want to angle my brush at like a 45-degree angle. And then I want to push down just a little bit. And then place your bead. You want to push your bead. You want to push everything into the center. And then you want to push this bead to your cuticle area. And then you want to use the tip of your brush to flatten it into your cuticles. And then you want to make sure that you're rotating your nail, holding your nail down, using the belly of your brush to flatten it out. And then you also want to make sure that you're using the belly of your brush to bring the acrylic down. The belly of your brush is your best friend, y'all. The tip of your brush you want to use when you're cleaning up your sidewalls or when you're doing marbling. But anytime you're bringing the acrylic down, you want to use the belly of the brush. And this is like really, really, really sheer. I don't know if this is going to work. Because it's really, really sheer. You can see through it.
Hey, you stop chewing that table? Go.
And you just always want to make sure that you're rotating the nail as well. That way you're seeing exactly what you're doing. You want to always make sure you're looking at your nails from all angles to make sure that your nails has an apex or to make sure that you have enough products on your nails. Oh, you can see through it. I'm gonna just do a design on all of the thing.
You do design on money.
It's a little simple something. A little something simple. Something simple because this white is like kind of share. So let's just say you don't know how, and then you want to always make sure that your acrylic is nice and flat. You want to always make sure that it's nice and level. Ooh, don't drop, child. Child, don't drop. You want to always make sure that it's nice and level. Let's just say you don't know how to do a one ball method, right? So you can start right here at your apex area.
That's cute.
You just want to make sure that you flatten it out, flatten the top part of it out. Make sure that you use the belly of your brush. Make sure that you're holding the nail down because gravity is going to help you. And then, like I said, you just want to make sure that you're using the belly of your brush to just bring it down. Using very, very light strokes, y'all. Very, very light strokes. You have to be gentle. You can take this and you can save this, but the only way that you can save acrylic is if you know your monomer. If you know that your monomer isn't going to dry super fast on you. Now, if you are using fast acting monomer, you cannot do that because by the time you get to the tip, yeah, that junk will be already hardened. Notice how I'm using the tip of my brush to clean the sides. Notice how I'm using the base of my brush. This is the base of my brush to keep my shape to the bottom. So then now all you have to do is go back in with your cuticle bead. You don't want to place your cuticle bead directly to the cuticle. You want to place it a little bit below the cuticle. And then you want to use the tip of your brush to push it into the cuticles. And then you want to use the tip of your brush to push it into the cuticles, if that makes sense. And then you want to blend down. Making sure that your brush touch your napkin after every stroke because that's going to prevent your brush from being full of products. Hey girl. Is this making sense to y'all? I really hate that you can see the design underneath. So I added some acrylic down here because it wasn't level. So all you have to do is just add a little bit to the tip and then you just want to blend up. Again, you just want to make sure that you're using very, very light strokes because you don't want to be taking off what you put on. You want to also be able to control your powder thing because your napkin should not be full of products. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're touching your napkin after every stroke, but you want to make sure that your monomer is either in your dish or on your nail. So you want to pick up a bead, you want to place it there, you want to get you a little bit more liquid, and then you want to push everything into the center, and then you want to use your tip of your brush to push it to your cuticles, and then you want to use the tip of your brush to like really blend it into the cuticles of that. I'm hoping that makes sense. Like you really want to use the tip of your brush to really push it and blend it into your cuticles. And then you want to use the belly of your brush using very, very light strokes to walk it down.
Ooh, baby. Okay, I'm gonna make you do.
Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Baby, don't play with it. I done did one little damn design. Now you coming back with all the designs. Okay, girl, push me. Make me do it. I can do it, girl. You know how much compliments I done get off of your nails?
Yeah, that's cute.
It makes sense. I'm using a size 12. I'm using my size 12 Kolinsky brush.
They short.
See, you want to make sure that you're, oh, y'all can't even see, but you want to make sure that you're looking at your nails to make sure that it's nice and even.
You're annoying.
Again, make sure that your acrylic powder is nice and flat. You want to dip. I like to tap off. Push down by using the belly of your brush. Want to hold it there, 1, 2, 3. You want to lift up, get you a little bit more liquid. Make sure that everything is into the center. Push all the acrylic into the center. Then you want to push the acrylic up by using the tip of your brush. Then you want to use the tip of your brush to push it into the cuticles. This is how you get those flawless cuticles. You want to flatten out the nail by using the belly of your brush, like I'm doing, flattening it out. And then you just want to just walk it down. And I like to walk it down because if you brush down too fast, y'all, sometimes the acrylic ain't gonna do what you want it to do, and then you gotta go back in with another bead and another bead and another bead. And look, I ain't nobody got time for that, okay? So I rather just walk it all the way down until the acrylic stops. And then once the acrylic stops, if I need to add more products, then I'll add more products. But if you're picking up a decent sized bead, you should just be able to walk it down, and it should be able to, you know, do its thing. But I feel like when you swipe down like this too fast, then you got to go back in with another bead and another bead. And that's just pointless to me. See, I'm waving it because once the air touch the acrylic, that's what causes it to dry super fast along with the monomer. And this white is really, really, really sheer, so I gotta go back in with the design. I had no intentions of doing no freaking design. So with the thumbnail, you want to make sure that you're picking up a good size acrylic bead. And for my thumb, I don't really like to start off at my cuticle area. You can, but I don't. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you flatten out your top part, your acrylic, the top of the acrylic, so that it's not, so that it doesn't have that big harsh line. If you notice that your acrylic is sticking to your brush, that means that your brush is too wet, so you just want to go back in and get more monomer. And then you just want to make sure that you flatten out your acrylic like this, and then use the belly of your brush to walk it down. I'm using very, very light strokes. As you can see, there's nothing on my brush.
I'm surprised you didn't change your balloon.
Cuticle bead. You want to get you a nice size cuticle bead. You want to hold it there.
Yeah, because you're not 17 anymore.
Use the tip to push it to the cuticles, and then use the tip to blend it into the cuticles, and then blend it down. Clean up your cuticle area by using the tip of your brush.
Is she pink or something? She's backing up for me.
And I'm gonna just go back in with a little bit.
Just sat there and peed on herself.
Huh?
Girl, just sat there and peed on herself. In the middle of Walmart line.
What?
You know people.
Do you record herself?
You know somebody was recording?
How you just pee on yourself?
She just did.
She didn't want to get out the line? Girl, you don't want to lose your spot. You don't want to lose your spot in line. Child, and then there you go.
That's some white people stuff right there.
Now I'm gonna go back in with
Oh.
some clear.
I'm just playing.
I'm gonna go back in with some clear because I just like to apply the clear. Now you don't have to, but this is what I always do. I just always apply clear because I know that the clear is much stronger than the color. And then I'm not applying too much clear, y'all, because the nail already has structure. I'm just applying just a thin layer of the clear just to make it a little bit stronger. Because I like for my clients' nails to be strong and to last. And this clear ain't really clearing it down with it. Should go a little bit of white into it. I wish I could have just speed up this live. That would have been cool, wouldn't it? I would speed up a live. So as a beginner, you just want to take your time. You want to make sure that you're practicing. You want to make sure that you are recording yourself. That way you can go back and look at what you're doing, because sometimes y'all don't really know what y'all be doing because y'all don't even be recording yourself. You know, if you record yourself and actually go back and look at what you're doing, you will be like, girl, now you can do this, or girl, why you did that, or girl, you need to be doing this. Recording yourself helps. I'm telling y'all, because that's what I started doing in the beginning. I made this nail too thick. You don't want the nail to be super thick. You don't want the nail to be super thick, but you want it to be good enough. All right. Now we're just going to do these questions again. If y'all have any questions, make sure y'all ask them down below. Push everything into the center, y'all. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're pushing everything into the center. That way you can be able to control it, because if it's not in the center, it's like the acrylic is going to be controlling you. So you want to push everything into the center, that way you can control it. Then you want to make sure that you're flattening out your bead and then using the belly of your brush by holding the nail down.
So you just get wet again?
Yeah. And I'm using very light stroke. That's why I don't have anything on my brush. It's already like white nails.
Mm-hmm.
White nails, white toes, white everything. So instead of me encapsulating it with the white, I'm going to just make sure that I apply enough of this. I mean, instead of me encapsulating it with the clear, I'm going to just make sure that I apply enough of this color so that I won't have to go back in and encapsulate. And then once you know how to control your acrylic, y'all, you should be able to do a 1-bar method. Notice that I didn't touch my napkin with this acrylic, because you don't really have to. You don't have to drain it off. But you want to make sure that you're pushing everything into the center. You want to make sure that you're using the tip of your brush to make that cuticle area flush. And then you want to make sure that you're using the belly of your brush to bring it down. So notice that the bead didn't come all the way down. I don't know if y'all can tell, but um, it is a little bit, you see that? See how that is a little flat down here? So now I just have to go back in with like a smaller bead, drain out some of the liquid, and then you just want to place it to the tip. And then you want to blend up. And then you want to just blend it down. So I'm not going to go in with the clear, but I am going to make sure that I apply enough. So push everything into the center. Use the belly of your brush to push it up along with the tip of your brush, and then you want to use the tip of your cuticle to blend it into your cuticles. That's how you get that flush the cuticle bead. You want to flatten it out, and then you want to use the belly of your brush to walk the bead down. Making sure you clean off the side walls. Making sure you look at your nail from all different angles. Because sometimes when we're just working like this, the nail looks perfectly fine. But the minute that you flip it or the minute that you look at it from the side walls, you're going to be like, what the hell? See how I built that nail? And then when you look down the barrel of the nail, this is looking down the barrel of the nail. When you look down the barrel of the nail is not flat. If you look down the barrel of the nail and the nail was flat like this, you don't have enough structure. You don't have an apex. But when you look down the barrel of the nail should never be flat. It should always have an apex. Even with my nails, when you look down, I didn't do my nails, y'all, but when you look down the barrel of my nail, you can see that I don't really have an apex. There's no structure. But because it's short, you know, you don't really have to have a structure, but that's fine. But I like to have an apex. I like to, when I look down the barrel of my nail looks good. You know, when you look down, see this? By me looking down the barrel of the nail, there's no structure, there's no apex. You don't want that. You want to be able to look down the barrel of your nail and you have a little hump right here. You have some type of structure. So this one don't really have no structure.
How's she stopping? Brianna.
Oh, that's Brianna? I thought that was Matt. So even though the nails are short, y'all, you still want to have some type of structure. You just have to know how you like your nails to look. You know, everybody like their nails to look however they like their nails to look. You just want to know how you like your nails to look. You want to do your nails the way that you like it. Regardless of how your clients may feel or whatever the case may be, you do your nails the way that you like the nails to look. And I like for my nails to look like I use a nail form even when I didn't use a nail form. So I make sure that all my nails look like I use a form when I do. See, when you flatten out the acrylic, it spreads it out. And that's what you want to make sure that you do. So that way when you bring your acrylic down, everything will be nice and even. You won't have one acrylic flying down. You know how sometimes when you bring the acrylic down, if it's not even, sometimes the acrylic will be sliding down one side versus the other side. So this is why you want to always make sure that you flatten it out. That way it comes down evenly. That way you don't have to go back in and add more products here, add more products there, because time is money. And y'all saw how I put all that damn monomer inside of there? You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you just put the right amount of monomer that you need. Y'all see how I got products at her cuticles? It's okay to have products at your cuticles. You just want to make sure that you're going back in with the tip of your brush to remove it. So it's okay if you do have some products at the cuticles. You don't want to get in the habit of doing that because you don't know if your client is allergic, and you can cause an allergic reaction, but you just want to make sure that you go back in and clean it up. So it's definitely okay. Don't let people tell you, oh, you can't have no products. Because, child, everybody gets products at the cuticles sometimes. Okay, and now you want to do... I can't believe I put all that monomer in there. I am so mad. That's like a waste. I wish I could just pour this monomer right back into that damn thing. So because I picked up this bead and this bead, I know this bead isn't going to allow me to start at my cuticle area. I place it down here, and that's another thing that you want to make sure that you do also. You see what I mean when I say when you swipe down too fast? So when you swipe down too fast, this is how it looks. You see how this is sheer? So now I got to go back in with another bead right here, and then I got to go back in with another bead right there. This is why I don't like to swipe down. This is why I like to like walk my acrylic down, because ain't nobody got time for all of this. But if you pick up a bead and you know that that bead isn't going to be big enough, you either want to put it, if you're starting off, you either want to put it at your free edge, or if you know how to control your acrylic powders, then you can actually pick up another bead to help that one bead. So if you know how to pick up multiple beads at one time, y'all can definitely do that. There's no such rule that say that you have to pick up one bead at a time. So don't allow people to tell you that. And you just have to like try different stuff. You know, in the beginning process of doing nails, this is where you can make and learn whatever you want to learn. This is where you can set trends. You can teach us something new. Even though you're a beginner, that doesn't mean that you can't teach us nothing. You can be in that house and be like, oh, I created this. Post it to your social media, and now the world gonna start following you. So never think that you just have to follow what everybody else do. You can be a leader and create certain stuff, because somebody gonna have to create something, right? Right, y'all? Y'all so damn quiet on this damn thing. Y'all paying attention, huh? Let me give y'all a damn test since y'all so damn quiet. Motherfuckers ain't saying nothing. Ever since I started laying this acrylic, they ain't asking no questions. They just watching. They ain't saying nothing. Or now they want to exit because I say, let me give y'all a test. Don't exit now. See? There you have it. Nice. And then I don't use brush cleaner, y'all. All I do is just dip my brush inside my monomer, and then I just use my napkin to clean it off. And I just wipe it off. And then I just make sure that I keep it nice and flat, and then I just store it right back into the container that it come in. I don't never use brush cleaner because brush cleaner ain't nothing but acetone. So don't let nobody shit y'all into telling y'all need to purchase brush cleaner because brush cleaner ain't nothing but acetone. And then this is my napkin. As you can see, my napkin is free of products. Damn, I hate them. I'm gonna try to save that. I'm gonna try to save that, y'all. I hate the fact that I'm gonna have to waste that. I'm gonna pour that back in there. Something. It makes sense. It makes sense. So now that when you apply the acrylic, now that you kept the shape, all you have to do is just go back in and then just redefine the shape. Making sure you push back the, making sure you get in those sidewalls. Making sure that you hold your file straight up against the nail. Not underneath the nail, but straight up against the nail. Take advantage of your hand file, y'all. Use your hand file. Your hand file is what's going to give you that perfect shape. So you make sure that you're pulling all the skin back. Make sure that their hands are nice and straight too. Sometimes the clients want to sit sideways. Make sure that their hands are nice and straight so that your nails ain't crooked. Take advantage of the hand file. I'm not really worrying about the cuticle because I have to go back in with my, I'm gonna go back in with my drill on the cuticle area, so I don't really worry about the cuticle when I'm filing. You wanna make sure that your file is straight up against the nail like this.
In the morning? 4. I got stuff to do.
See all of this? You wanna make sure that you're pulling this back and filing in there. Because that can cause lifting too, especially if you really ain't getting in those sidewalls. When your client go home, especially if they're a picker like me, they're gonna pick with their nails. And then they're gonna text you and be like, girl, my nails lifting.
Can you do that?
I'm using a 100. These are my hand files, but when I first purchased these hand files, it don't really feel like a 100. It feels more like a 180. So that's why I was just giving them away to everybody who placed the order. I was just basically just giving them away because I couldn't sell them because they're not, to me, they're not really a 100. They're more like a 180. And I didn't want people to purchase the files and then complain. They taught y'all in school to use the hand file. Yeah, the hand file. I mean, because if your drill, let's just say that your drill ever goes out, or let's just say that something goes wrong to where you can't, you don't have a drill, you want to always make sure that you know how to hand file. And then I always flip the hand around this way, y'all, to make sure that I'm filing. But you want to always make sure that you still know how to hand file just in case anything happens with that drill because it is a machine. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing with this hand file. That way you won't have no issues. Because what if you don't know how to hand file and then your drill goes out in the middle of your services? What you going to do? Tell your client, girl, I can't finish your nail? Now your client going to be looking at you like, what kind of nail tech you is? So always flip the nail around. That way you can see it from the client's perspective. Sometimes you may not have to file, but if you do, just file it this way. I like to file it this way because it helps me get the shape and all of that. But yeah. And I just like to see what they can see. As you can see, you got the perfect, and then you still want to measure it, the cuticle to the cuticle, to make sure that the lengths are still the same. So you still want to measure. Courtney, how much longer you got in school? You should be finished with school this year, right? Is your school actually teaching y'all stuff? What? I think you tell me what school you went to. 'Cause I think you're in cosmetology school, right? And sometimes you have to file underneath the nail. So you can file underneath the nail, but for the most part, you want to make sure that you're filing straight up against the nail. I don't season my files. I know they say you're supposed to, but I don't season mine. And that's because I just make sure that when I'm filing, I pull the skin back. And I just make sure that I have my thumb right here or my finger right here, and I'm feeling the file touching my nail. So I try to do everything I can so that I'm not filing their skin, but I don't season my files. And then these files are kind of light, so. But even when wasn't just using my own files, I never really seasoned the files. Yeah, you're supposed to, because like just to say you get a new file, you gotta rub it up against the old file so that the edges won't be too sharp. But I never did that. I did it a few times, but for the most part, I don't do that because I just try to make sure that I'm filing, correctly. And if you filing correctly, like if you pulling the skin back and all of that, then you shouldn't be tearing up your client's nails anyway. And then sometimes it just depends. Like I said, this is a 100, but to me it feels more like a 100, 180. Now if you're using a 60, 60, or y'all don't, you got 60, 60 files? Yes, y'all, they got 60, 60 files. I want to get some of those. I know that shit nice and sharp. One file and you got the shape you want. But if you're using like a 80 or whatever, you definitely want to make sure that you're seasoning it. But you don't really have to. You just got to know how to file. You just got to know how to hold your file. So I gotta file this one down because this nail was the nail that I cut and it's a little too long.
Oh, cute.
And then now you just wanna go in with your thumb. No, if you just, like I said, if you just pull the skin back and if you just take your time, you just have to make sure that you're taking your time. When you're using that hand file, when you're using that e-file, you just got to make sure that you're taking your time. If you're taking your time, I promise you, you ain't going to cut your clients. You ain't going to cut them. You're going to cut your clients if you in a rush. But just take your time. And this bit I'm using is a 5-in-1 fine bit. And I'm going to seal in my cuticles with this bit. And then I'm going to debulk if I have to. And again, I'm going to still start off at my cuticle, my side wall from my left to right. And with this bit, I just want to make sure that I'm taking my time because I am going around my cuticles and this is not a safety bit. And then I just want to make sure that I'm pulling the skin back. That way I can get inside of there. So now that I went around, so I'm going to show y'all how to use the e-file on the other nail. Alright, so you want to make sure that you're starting off at one side wall. You want to make sure that you're going around your cuticle area. You want to make sure that your e-file is parallel to the nail. You want to make sure that you're taking your time going around your cuticle area. I like to pull the skin back, that way I can get in the side walls. You want to come down the nail, and then I like to go across the nail from one side to the other. And then just go down the entire nail, and this is how I file. This is how I make sure that my nails are proportionate and have the structure that they're supposed to have. And then just give them a nice little C-curve, and then that's all you do. And you want to make sure you do that with every single nail. You want to go around, taking your time. Making sure you don't cut your clients. Making sure you pull that. See all of this right here? So when you pull the skin back, all of this is going to show to you. I don't know if y'all can see that, but all of this right here is going to show. So when you pull that skin back, you're actually able to get in those side walls. Then I went down the nail, and then now I'm going across the nail. Making sure you lift up every time you use the e-file. Yeah, girl. That's why I say the more you practice, the more you do it, you can be like, you can do this thing in your eye with your eyes closed. Like when you first use it, of course, it's gonna be scary because you're gonna be like, Lord, especially don't let them be moving. You're gonna be like, Lord, please don't let me, cut my clients. But the more you do it, you should be able, like, you should be paying attention to what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it, and that's gonna help you. So now, girl, like you said, you a pro at it now. Like, they can't tell you nothing now on it. That just come with time, just using the e-file just come with time. Yeah, I don't use no safety bits. I just be telling my clients, y'all better chill out. And then I just always make sure I pull that skin back. That way I can get in there. But I don't use no safety bits, child. That safety bits ain't gonna really get close. I need to get in there. Now, when you're doing this, you don't want to apply too much pressure. You really don't want to apply no pressure. You just want to allow the e-file to do the work for you. And then the same thing, hold your hand up. See how I'm pulling the skin back like this? I'm pulling the skin back. Then I'm going around the cuticle area, nice and slow. And I have my drill on a 20, y'all. And I'm going around the cuticle, nice and slow. I'm lifting up as I go around. Then as you can see, I'm pulling this skin back so that I can get in there. Because that's another reason why you have lifting, because you're not really getting into the sidewalls. You're not really sealing in those sidewalls. You got to seal in them sidewalls. You got to seal in that cuticle. You don't know how wild your client is or anything. Always, like I said, you want to always make sure that you're doing everything the same direction. You know, the same thing. So all of the steps that I did when I was using the e-file and all of that is still the same steps. Regardless of regardless of what I'm doing on the nail, the process is still the same. And that's what you want to get in the habit of doing too, because that helps you with your time. Like if I wasn't on live, I would have already been finished with this nail set. But because I'm teaching y'all and showing y'all how to do stuff, I'm just moving a little slow. This nail set would have took me about an hour to do. And then when you go back and you look at your time, and then when you time yourself, that allows you to know how long it's going to take you to do a nail set. Don't just be guesstimating. Don't just be saying, oh, well, it may take me. No, you want to know for sure how long it's going to take you to do a basic short set. You want to know for sure how long it's going to take you to do a medium set. You want to know for sure how long it's going to take you to do a freestyle. That way you can tell your clients. That way they can be prepared too. And what I like to do is I like to go over my cuticles a few times. As you can see with this bit, I like to go over it a few times to make sure that, it's really, really good. And then I like to go down the nail. Give them a nice little C curve.
Stop, bro. Look at my ankles.
All right, feel her today? No, for real. Child, tell you hungry. And then that's all you do. The time is key. They didn't teach you that. They teach you how to use the e-file, the Gilbert's correct line, all of it for you. You're welcome. I'm glad you was able to learn. Now you don't have to use this. You don't have to do this part because that 5-in-1 bit basically just did this, but I like to use this. I didn't like to use this when I didn't like for this part when I was getting my nails done in the nail salon because they were just being so rough, tearing out my little hands. I used to ask them, "Can you just skip this step?" Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that they don't teach in school, but that's why I'm here to help y'all. You know? I'm glad I'm able to help. Farrah, you licensed, right? I think you passed your test, didn't you, girl? Didn't you, ma'am? No, girl. You's a ma'am. You's a woman. You older than me, I think.
No. Sorry.
All right, so now I'm just going to dust this off. Now, at this time, you want to have your clients wash their hands, but she ain't going to go wash her hands because she ain't going to want to get up. So when you finish, just this is the time that you want to have your clients wash their hands, and then they're going to use that same bit that you use. But I'm just going to use this nail prep dehydrator. And then I'm just going to dust down. Making sure I get all, you know how sometimes we having all that stuff on their skin. That's the purpose of them washing their hands. So I'm just going to brush down and get wherever I can off of the skin. You passed, girl. You was a licensed nail technician. Yeah, you older than me. All right, so I can't call you no girl. I got to call you ma'am. I got to call you woman. You my elders. Huh? She ordered, yeah, she ordered it now. I'm 36, I know that. Even if she a year older, shit, that's still older. That's still my adult. And then I'm just gonna go in with some white. And y'all know I like Be Pretty. I like Be Pretty gel polish. So make sure y'all shop with her. And I'm gonna just go in with some white because she like white. I'm just gonna put a little bit because I be putting too much down here. Oh, see, she about to be 40 on February the 3rd. These little children better learn how to respect their elders, innit? They don't be knowing how to respect their elders.
What is that? What is that?
So I'm using some blooming gel. This is just me, a secret blooming gel. Jaleesa. I remember you asking me. Jaleesa. That's too funny. Cause you was like, what blooming gel you using? Black don't crack, baby. It sure don't. You looking good for our age, child. We be looking good for our age. And I'ma just put this whatever. Cause this blooming gel, so the blooming gel gonna allow it to do whatever. Let's do that. And if you also want to do marble, like marbling like this, you can do marbling like that too. But I'm just scribbling. I'm just scribbling on the nail. Oh, some Skittles. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Baby, don't play with it. So I normally be having nails right here to hold on to it. I ain't got no nails right there, y'all. And that junk is a struggle. I'm just making some little dots on this nail, y'all. Then I'm gonna go on with this other side with a little.
Are you rushing?
Yeah.
Why are you rushing?
Cause I'm ready to get out of this chair. So why I'm rushing? First of all, I am
I
rushing.
can feel it. I keep throwing my hands around.
Now you know how I feel.
I'm not rushing.
Yeah, you ain't rushing tonight, but I be feeling your energy when you be rushing me.
Should I eat? Can I eat? Yes, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Say I'm hungry.
Let me not rush y'all.
Teddy, stop looking at my ankles.
This is really hard when I ain't got no nail right there.
Blame it on Teddy.
I'm blaming on you. I was gonna leave that like that, y'all, but I don't want to do her like that. I want her to talk trash. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like using polish, cause you know when you mess up, when your clients make you mess up or something, now you gotta wipe it off and start all over. Like ain't nobody got time for that. So this is one reason why I don't like using polish because
Teddy, stop.
you gotta like be very, very, very still. Nice little sets.
Stop, bro. Don't be yelling. You're annoying.
And if they don't keep still,
You still done talking.
Ma'am, please.
you gotta redo, redo, redo.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please get your animal. You keep scratching my foot. Teddy, stop.
So I don't like doing the same thing on the hand. So I like to just switch it up just a little bit. So I'm just going with this white again and then just make some little, you know, whatever. You don't gotta do too much because it's blooming gel. So the blooming gel gonna like separate it anyway. So it don't really matter. Teddy, please, like you're breathing hard, like
Sexy little dog.
sassy.
Hey, I'm gonna feed you when I'm done.
See, I'm just making little lines on here, y'all, because it don't really matter. The blooming gel gonna do its thing anyway.
Teddy, if you scratch my toe,
See y'all, I tell y'all, this client right here is very vocal. She the one who she the one who be telling me like, why you be slinging people's hands like that? I didn't even know I used to sling people's hands,
Just one in my hand.
but I be slinging their hands. It don't be on purpose. It just be because I'm finished with the nail. Like, give me your other hand. Like, you supposed to be paying attention. Like, if I'm done with one nail, then you supposed to automatically give me your next nail.
Be forgetting.
Stop chewing on her table.
Damn, Daddy, you hungry, girl? You chewing on my table?
You wanna eat? Yes, I gotta eat. I'm hungry. No, you better back up.
Now you 18. Now you can go out. Show off.
Yeah, we talking about you.
Yo, my daughter friend just turned 18. She's awesome. She had fun at the club. Girl! Nah, she didn't know how to act because she went out, y'all. See, this particular client, y'all don't like, she don't like designs. I mean, she don't like, blank.
Nope, my birthday nails is so simple. I think I got them picked out. Last year? Yeah. It was a freestyle. It was just all type of way. I don't know. Yeah, and it had Aries on there. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, this year I'm not doing all that. That's too dramatic for me.
And when you're doing nail art, y'all gotta have a steady hand, the right brush. You gotta make sure you take your time. Tell you be breathing hard like you just be saying.
She fed up right now. Look at that right there.
All right.
Teddy. What's the matter with my teddy right there?
So now I'm about to go in with some clear, shiny. I'm about to go in with some shiny, y'all. There's some shiny top coat that I've been testing out. If the nails be wonky like that, y'all, file it.
Teddy, stop tuning yourself.
This is why you're supposed to wipe the sides before they put their hands into the light. Because sometimes if you don't wipe the sides, the acrylic will be all on the side. Red. Girl! I told you, ma'am, that you got blue on the side too. That's the design.
This is me right here.
So just make sure that you wipe the sides, y'all. You know. Y'all see what I say about the blooming gel? How it just gonna do its own little thing. So I appreciate y'all for staying on me with this live for 2 hours. No, it wasn't 2 hours. I came on here at 7. Oh yeah, 7, 8, 9. Damn. I appreciate y'all for being on this live with me for 2 hours. I was not expecting this live to be that long, but y'all know when I get to talking and teaching, child, them lives be going long. Blooming gel is so simple. It's so simple, and it'll create the most prettiest design. So if you don't know how to create a design, get you some blooming gel and just add some colors on there and do something, and it's going to create it for you. But I appreciate y'all for watching this live and being on this live with me. If I knew it was just going to be all my sunflowers, I would have just gone live in a group. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all the best. And then now all you have to do is just go in. Oh, Nuno, Noonie. Nino, Noonie. And then you just want to go in with some cuticle oil, y'all, and then just rub it in, okay? Do not allow your clients to walk out all oily. Give them a nice little massage. When their other hand is in the light, just give them a nice little massage, you know. Make them feel special. Rub their fingers. You know, this should take about a minute. Cause while their hands in there, then the other hand is just getting a little light massage. Now the other hand may not get a minute. Now they might get like 30 seconds. But you know, you just want to rub the cuticle oil in and just give them a nice little massage. You know, make them feel special, and then that's all you do. And then you want to do the same thing for this hand. Then you want to rub it in. Do not let your clients leave out with Oh, I see that. Girl, that's the design. That thing look cute. You know, just rub it in. Rub the oil in. Rub their fingers. You know, give them a nice little massage. Make them feel good. Because if you rub them down, they're going to tip you. I'm telling you, they're going to give you a little extra tippy tip. Rub their hands. And then be like, that's all you got. And this is the finished product, y'all. So nice and cute. So I appreciate y'all for watching this 2-hour live that was only supposed to take about an hour. But I appreciate y'all. Like I said, if y'all have any questions or anything, just let me know. But y'all enjoy y'all night. It is 9 o'clock. Y'all know I'm getting old. It's time for me to go to bed. It's time for me to take my shower and go to sleep. Not now, yeah. I gotta go watch a TV show or something. But was this live helpful? Did y'all learn anything new that y'all didn't already learn? That's the whole purpose. Like whenever you're watching a live, the purpose is, especially if you already know what you're doing, the purpose is to try to learn something new. You know?
What you thought I was?
Anytime you're watching a live, just try to get on there and learn something new that you can learn, that you can benefit from, that you can incorporate in your own nail, on your own nail journey. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Don't be stressed. Don't let nobody stress y'all out. Good night. Y'all have a good one.